If you're wondering what's going to happen to COVID restrictions, at least in England, stay tuned, because at the top of the hour, Sajid Javid, Health Secretary, will be outlining what the plan is likely to be and what is likely to change and not to change. Meanwhile, a legal challenge is to be launched against the Welsh Government over its mandatory COVID pass policy. Some civil liberties campaign groups, including Big Brother Watch, seeking a judicial review of the scheme, which it said is draconian, discriminatory and pointless. Let's turn to our Wales reporter, Lily Hewitson, who has more on this. Lily.
Yes, good afternoon, Colin. That is the case. The Welsh Government initially said that COVID passes were brought in to keep businesses open here in Wales. But of course, over the Christmas period, we've seen that that isn't the case at all. Nightclubs were closed, and as well as businesses like theatres, like the one behind me, had to make things a little bit more stricter within the sector because of the increase in social distancing measures which were placed upon them over the Christmas period because of the rise of Omicron cases here. Now, the Big Brother Watch launching the legal challenge against the COVID pass policy, as they say passes don't stand up to scrutiny, and they want full disclosure of documents and information that were given to ministers when they were making the decision originally. Now, COVID passes were originally used here in Wales at large-scale music events last summer, and they then became mandatory in October. Since then, people here in Wales have had to show their COVID pass in order to verify their vaccination status or their lateral flow status, and since then people have had to show that in order to gain access into places like cinemas, theatres, sports events and large events in general here in Wales. Now, the big scrutiny of Welsh Government is the fact that these COVID passes haven't stopped businesses from being shut, which is what people here are particularly concerned about. Of course, nightclubs were closed over the festive period, and fans have been stopped from going to sports events until Friday from Boxing Day. So people are really starting to consider, what is the purpose of these passes? Now, the director of Big Brother Watch says if COVID passes have no noticeable effect on public health here in Wales, then there's simply no justification for them. But they didn't stop just with Wales. The group also launched a legal challenge against the COVID pass scheme in England, having urged the UK government to end it by the end of January. But of course, after the Prime Minister's announcement earlier on today, we know that they won't be required from next Thursday. So the Welsh Government say that venues where COVID passes are required tend to be those indoor venues where lots of people congregate. But as well as this legal challenge, there are also calls for more, hardcore evidence to prove that COVID passes do stop the transmission of the virus going forward. But of course, they didn't stop the closure of businesses here in Wales over the Christmas period, which is what people here are really frustrated about.
Lily, thanks ever so much.